Are you fun and ready for a dream vacation? Immerse yourself in the historic romance of Venice or capture the sun-soaked paradise of Santorini. TravelFun.Biz makes it all attainable for less than you'd expect. Our U.S.-based trusted team of travel concierge are complimentary and take care of every detail. Work hard, play harder. Choose casual luxury. Choose TravelFun.Biz to book all of your travel. A family-owned and operated agency. Your fun is our biz. Text us for a quote on your dream vacation today.
Deserves to do this, and I want to tell you why. And I don't want this to be work. I want this to be fun. So I just thought I would just roll through the pictures that we took and tell you all the exciting things that we did, and also roll through the itinerary that I planned. And if you want that itinerary for yourself after this Zoom, just DM us and I'll give that to you, because it'll save you, it'll get the wheels turning and percolating. And after that, Roxana will show you all of her planned out trip that she has for an amazing deal, starting at like $2,000, and which is incredible, which amazing deal that she has to offer you. So I'm Shelby Frenette. I've been in travel for about 20 years, and I have been really looking forward to keeping you guys informed on what is the best thing to do next. I've had over 500 cruises, but we sell all travel. And I have been to, I think, 80 countries, mostly for work. Don't get jealous. I wasn't on vacation. I was working. Now we do take a few vacations, but believe me, we've earned it. And Japan, I had been to with my husband 25 years ago when we worked on cruise ships. And to come back, and Tahiti, by the way, because we wrapped these two together. And after we went back 25 years later, I can tell you it stole my heart again, opened my eyes. It's a transformational vacation. It's not one of these vacations where you're kind of checking off the boxes. You will be changed when you go to Asia, and especially Japan. You will feel differently. You will think differently. It's absolutely a move. It moves the soul. It's not the same old, same old. So if you have the means to do it, I encourage you to do it now. By the way, 2026, it's so cheap right now to be in Japan. Just to give you an idea, we were eating for about $30 for myself, my husband, and my 17-year-old son, who can eat a monster's worth of meat. We would spend about $30 to $50 for a meal, where usually in the United States, we're spending about $100 to $150 for the same meal. In fact, the quality is even better in Japan. Those prices are still going to be rock bottom when you go there with Roxy. But in 2026, they are transitioning into having a two-tiered system. Well, they'll be giving you tourist prices versus local prices. And we fully expect it to be quite high for the tourist. So going in 2025, 26, before it gets into that area, is going to be a good benefit for you guys. So I'd like to hand it over to Roxana just for her to give herself a little introduction so you know who she is. And then I'm going to get into all my pictures, and then we'll go for some Q&A at the end. Go ahead, Roxana, take it away.
All right. Thank you so much, Shelby. Hi, everyone. My name is Roxana, and I'm so excited to be here and have you guys join us. Thank you so much for your guys' time. A little brief intro about me. So I am younger, but I am well traveled, I will say. I have been to more countries than my age, and I am 25. And mainly of my trips have been done solo, and I end up just kind of meeting people out on the road. I like to feel like a local. I'm like, hey, take me here, show me here. And I've been able to travel and meet people that I still talk to this day, even from 6, 7 years ago. I began my travels, I would say, a little bit after the COVID time. That's kind of where I got my push and motivation, because, everyone knows during COVID it was rough. And I was just like, oh, I want to do something different. I want to push myself out. So I pushed myself out to different countries and I've met amazing people. I recently joined Travel Fun maybe a year and a half now to date, and it has been really amazing. They are an incredible support team. They are people that I look up to, and our team also. Combined, we have maybe over 50 plus years of experience, and I have lots of good guidance and help, and really good. We're a really great team. We love to work together and everything. So I'm just really excited to bring everyone on board and have people join me on this Japan trip for next year.
That's great. We love it. All right, I'm going to share my screen. Give me a thumbs up if you guys can see my screen. And this is a collage. You should be seeing a collage right now of the Tahiti trip. I just wanted to give a shout out. The reason we went to Japan is because we had a group in Tahiti, and this was our amazing group. And this is one of the wonders of the world that is untainted, still untainted. the humans haven't gotten to it yet. There's still unspoiled paradise here in Tahiti. And we took a group of 30 couples out there, and we were so far out though. I was like, there's no way I'm going to Tahiti flying that far, not going further. So that's why we ended up going to Japan. And the first thing I wanted to talk about was the flight that we took. This is Joel and I snuggling and spooning because we got what they called a sky couch. And a sky couch is just the economy, basically, the cheap economy if you get lucky, like he got lucky. But it was only $250 extra per person. And that was on Air New Zealand. And it was called the Sky Couch. And I highly, highly recommend if you're going to Japan and you have that option. I just want to give that little tip out to you because, it wasn't the $2,000 a ticket, each way for first class. But for $250 extra, I think our ticket to get there was something like $1,000, and that was with the sky couch. So it was not expensive to have a lay down experience. So I just want to mention that to you guys who don't know about the sky couches on Air New Zealand. Something the first thing we did there is, of course, we looked at the menus, and of course, nothing's in English, right? Which is typical for the menus. They do have a lot of information in English when you're going throughout the airports and throughout the train systems. But all you need to do is just have your trusty little phone, and then all you do is put the Google Translate or the Google Lens, and magically it shows you in English. So that wasn't a problem. So you can see my son here. This was literally the first stop, and we got some amazing food. This was a Chinese restaurant in Japan, and the food quality is so much better than here in the US. It'll just knock your socks off. You're like, how do they get this food? So it just tastes so good. Like you can tell it's nourishing. You can tell doesn't have all those hormones and all that stuff that you sort of know when you don't have good quality food. This was what we used. He used Google Lens. And then Joel was just making, it was $8.55. I think for a whole meal, that was like $3. And I think the whole meal was $5 or $6 a person, just so you're aware. It was crazy. I also thought it was so fun that they had no talking on your cell phone. And they had this part in English, I think for us, because other customers cannot relax. You could use your phone, but you couldn't talk on your phone really anywhere in public. So the first day in Tokyo, we did a walking tour, and we went to one of these shrines. And I don't know if you guys know what these are, but these are actually sake barrels. And they are all different sake barrels, and they have family names and different information. And that was really fun. You'll also see a lot of these little things, which are prayers. And so these are little prayers, and it's like 50 cents. And you can take one of these and write a prayer, and then the monks will come over later and do a prayer for you, which is really fun. Everything in Japan just has a little bit more oomph. This is just shaved ice, but they made it like an absolute crazy dessert. They're famous for their omelets and their Wagyu beef. This was just a random side place in Tokyo. I think this cost us $13 with Wagyu steak. I'm not even sure what this is, but it was some meat dish. And then again, that omelet, absolutely delicious. Another thing that you'll be able to just pop in and out of, whiskey tastings. So these ladies gave us a whiskey tasting. You could taste any whiskey you wanted. Some of these are $1,000 bottles. They just left them right there. People are very trustworthy in Japan. I'll tell you a little story later. This is downtown in Tokyo near Shibu Crossing, which is a highlight of a place. And this is called the Shibu Scramble Crossing. One of the fun things that I tell people they can do, and this is free, you can actually get yourself on the live cam like we did. So this was us on the live cam, and we recorded ourselves on the live cam at Shibu Crossing, which crosses thousands and thousands of people every time the light changes. It's one of the biggest crosswalks. I think it is the biggest crosswalk in the world. That was our other cruise. Sorry. Then we went to the Ninja Cafe bar. This was a really fun little thing to do where we got to dress up as ninjas and throw stars and do the little where you blow the little blow darts. And then we stopped into a place to have dinner. We just stopped into these places for lunch. This was one of the sakes that they gave us. It was my favorite sake I've ever had. And this was a lunch menu. Again, this was like $12, if you can believe that. Just to give you an idea of a $12 meal in downtown Tokyo. You had your choice. I got the fish, and my son, of course, got the meat. But can you imagine? Like, it's just and your mouth is just watering with all these different tastes. It's amazing. This was called the Treetop. This is it's the highest building up in Tokyo. You can take an elevator right to the top. We were lucky enough to have a friend that lived in Japan that took us out one day, and we just took this really fun little photo. But this is a nice little tourist stop if you want to sort of relax and just get out of the heat. You're going to go in April if you go with Roxy. It won't be so hot, but I do want to mention if you are looking to go to Japan at a different time of year, do not go in the summer. I live in Florida. Anka lives in Florida with me. I promise you, it is hotter than Florida in the summer. It was so hot. The only reason we went here is because to Tokyo in July is because of the fact that we had that Tahiti trip, and Tahiti's wonderful all year round with the temperature. Japan, not so much. I do not recommend going in July and August ever. I don't. I would never recommend doing it. We did it. We did it, but I wouldn't do it again. Um, this is one of the beautiful place, one of the towns right near Tokyo, and all of these are really monuments that have either been there for like almost 1,000 years, but been rebuilt due to the fact that it got bombed or it fell. But they remodel it exactly to the element that it was in, let's say, 100 AD or 300. I'm just quoting quickly, but they're very old, but they are reconstructed. They're not original, these particular shrines, but they really try to keep everything intact and replicate them. The koi ponds are everywhere. It is just such a beautiful place to walk around. Of course, samurai swords everywhere. So fun. They do have dog cafes. If you have any questions about that, I'll tell you on the side. That's kind of a yin and a yang. It could be worse. It could definitely be better. I'm a dog fanatic, so I had to go. But they were just very hungry because they keep them so food motivated that I just wanted to buy them like, a 5 course meal. Um, Japan's, even their breakfast, everything is so pretty. They really work on their food to be delicious, nutritious, and beautiful. Everything is an Instagrammable moment. This was literally this was a Subway restaurant. We were in the Subway, and this was just a restaurant in the Subway, if you can imagine that. The Ritz-Carlton, I have to mention it. We stayed one night in Osaka. It is worth a visit, even if you're just going to go to Osaka for one day and you want to just walk around. It is a phenomenal, phenomenal hotel. We are so blessed that we got to stay there. This is one of the cool things you'll just see on the side of the road in Osaka. In fact, this is a rock climbing wall inside a building. Lots of fun stories about that. But just to give you an idea of things are just so different when you go to Japan. It's just not the same old, same old. This is the main street in Osaka. Osaka is the party place. Now you can party anywhere in Japan, but you will party hardy in Osaka. The karaoke bars are phenomenal. We will give you a recommendation to where we went to our karaoke bar. His name is Mars. It's a transformed living room. You will have the time of your life. It is. Actually, this is the night that my family and I talk about the most, was our night in Osaka and going to do karaoke with Mars. And even if you're not into karaoke, believe me, you will be after this authentic experience. And Osaka has just a lot of humor. They are just really, they're humorous. They're very tongue in cheek. They are really just a fun time to be had by all. This was the Ritz-Carlton. We dressed up for that, and then we went a little crazy in Osaka downtown. As you can imagine, things got crazy. We ended up with the locals. It got pretty wild, everybody. It got pretty wild. It was kind of like The Hangover. In fact, that was us the next day. I think it was mentioning that in Japan, a lot of places, they will give you matching pajamas. I thought that was cute. That was after Osaka. This was just a taxi that we took. This is the most comfortable taxi I've ever had in my life. Taxis are cheap, they are prevalent, they are easy. Uber is there, but Uber's not any cheaper. And the taxis are just, it's like a limousine ride. Not all of them were this amazing, but they do have these, and this was not a special order, by the way. So that was me in a taxi cab. Do not go to the expo, the World Expo. For anyone listening on Facebook, do not go to the World Expo. It was the biggest waste of time, money, and it's a lot of pomp and circumstance. Anyone on Instagram or if you're seeing anything on TikTok saying it's great, I would beg to differ. They must be making some affiliate income to say so. Don't do it. Tell all your friends, don't do it. No expo. Something that Japan is known for is their vending machines, and they have everything. This is just in the subway, and I just decided to take some vending machine pictures. These are all kinds of lottery tickets. There's also going to be hot drinks, cold drinks. They make them hot. They mix everything together. They have a plethora. It's not just like soda and water. They have ice creams. They have chocolates. They have noodles. You can buy noodles in the vending machine. Fresh apples. This was a great one. I did my fresh apple one, and that was super, super cool. We crushed apples right there, and I got a fresh juice out of the vending machine in the subway. These are the skirt steaks. They have a do your own, like cook your own steak. Everywhere you go, there's something new. This is just in a random store, all of these options for dried everything. You just, the amount, your eyes will be on fire every store you go to. They will be on fire. Your curiosity will be piqued. Nothing is the same. These yellow drinks that Joel's holding, lemon, lemon chew or something. Oh my gosh, they were so delicious. But you can
Lemon
also,
sochu. Yeah.
sochu. Oh,
hmm
it
It's
was
like
like,
a
go
it's
ahead,
like a
tell me.
Mike's Hard Lemonade, but they have like a slice of lemon in it, and it's less than $1.
It was way better than Mike's
Way
Hard.
better. I know,
Like,
but I'm trying to like relate it to something. So
yeah,
yeah.
no. If they had that on the planet when I was in my younger years, it could have been disastrous. Anyway, it was delicious. And you could have some spicy grilled squid leg or dried sardines to top it off.
Fantastic.
All of their 7-Elevens, you'll hear that their 7-Elevens have fresh food, and they do. Their 7-Elevens are restocked every 4 times a day, and everything is done by AI, so they know what's been taken, what needs to be replenished. You can quite literally eat a regular meal. I think this would be about $1. If wait, 369 yen is like a buck, right, honey?
Yeah, the number of yen, you take away the last two digits, and then it's two-thirds of that number remaining.
So
So that would be $2.
$2. Okay, so two
Mhm.
dollars for a sandwich. Now, this place I found, and this is out of the way. You're gonna have to stay in if you're in Tokyo and you want to do basically a tour out of the way. You guys can hire a cab, get together. It's about, I would say, an hour and a half, right, or an hour drive up to the mountain, and you see all this waterfall. There are probably a half mile of restaurants that are above the waterfall. The pictures don't even do it justice, but it is absolutely the most the one of the highlight I think of my whole trip there was probably this place. And they have all of this awesome food with those fish that were in the fresh fish that are in the water. My husband's very adventurous. I'm a little adventurous. And they had, and this is just my own picture. Like, can you see how the waterfall is coming under there? Absolutely so beautiful. You could spend a whole day there, or you could just go for an hour and then come back. But it is such a cool, cool place to go. This is a bamboo shoot, and they had homemade ramen noodles that you grabbed with your chopstick as soon as they came down, like a little bit of a chopstick race, which was super fun. And then right nearby, they have a shrine, which is so cool. There are so many shrines to walk around. They have a Buddhist and a Shinto religion, and so the shrines are abundant. You don't have to go to the really packed ones all the time. Here was our samurai experience, and these are really what the samurais used to wear. We went to a real samurai sword training where we got all dressed up, and a real samurai showed us all the moves. That is an in-depth thing to do. For those of you who love that, we can give you some tips on that. And this is the real samurai. It's not just for show. He literally is a samurai in Kyoto. This is Kyoto. The streets are absolutely beautiful, and just like you would think that they should be in the Gion district, everything is so clean. It's so shocking how clean everything is. And little tip, you always want to bring a bag for your trash because it's very clean because everybody brings their trash with them. They don't have many trash baskets. They do have private roads in the Gion district. Due to the geishas, there are only, I believe, 200 geishas left, and they are basically trying to reinvigorate this old culture and remind people that geishas are not prostitutes. They are actually known for the arts and entertainment. You do hire them, but you hire them to do actual say performances that are from the older years and that traditional culture. But they have a few of these signs because people would run and try to find the geishas. And this is a geisha. She was 17 years old. We sat with her. That'll be an option for you if you'd like to add on a big tour. This was a wonderful, wonderful tour. She was my son's age, and she decided to become a geisha. We got to ask her a bunch of questions. We had lunch, and we had about 30 minutes of Q&A. This was one of my bucket list. I wanted, actually, she's a Miko, excuse me. She's in training to be a geisha. And we've learned all about her training. We got to ask candid questions. It was really a phenomenal experience. And I can't say enough about that. But can you imagine, like, she decided to become, she's on train to become a geisha, and they are the same age. I just found that so crazy. And you sit on the floor sometimes. You don't have to. There's a lot of restaurants where they have Western style seating, but we did choose to sit on the floor a lot because we just wanted to sort of get into the culture, and that was really neat. And this is just the way it is when you're in Japan if you're going to the cultural places. My favorite place. I keep saying that, but this is Nara. Now, this is not a park. This is just a place. You take the train to Nara. Usually you go from Kyoto, so you guys have a couple days in Kyoto. You might want to take a day trip to Nara. Nara is a train ride away. Everything's very accessible easily, and the deer are just all around. They own it. There's no cages. There's no nothing. They live for these crackers, and you buy crackers for $1.25, and then these deer come up and they would like to have their crackers. There's probably I saw 200 deer at least. There was probably 1,000 out there, but I saw about 200. As you can see, they're just with everybody in the cars are around. They just don't hit them. This deer is like, I want that cracker. And then they just take naps. I mean, it's hot. This was July, so it was really hot. But they're just sitting by the cafe, hoping someone gets them an ice cream, probably. But it was just amazing. It's absolutely amazing. I love animals, so for me, this is like hugely special. My father loved deer too, so I thought of my dad a lot. On the way home, we just randomly went into these, what is this called? Hibachi, right? So you know the hibachi that you've seen all around the States. This hibachi is just as good, if not, well, it's definitely better quality, but the performance is, they're not like a performer like it is on the cruise ships. They're more serious about their job, but this was an incredible meal. And now we're in Bamboo Garden. It's a must see. They have two bamboo gardens. This is again from Kyoto. If you're going to go to Kyoto, you would take a day trip to the bamboo gardens. A wonderful, wonderful place to visit. And they have another shrine. This shrine is only allowed to be open every 60 years. The history behind that is one of the leaders had to transcribe a book, and it's in there, and every 60 years they allow people to come and view that book, so they make people wait for things. This was another must do in my opinion, or consider, is the monkey park. It was a huge hike. Again, it was like $5 to get in. You hiked up there, and again, all of these monkeys, you were just living in their habitat. It was not a zoo. It would show you all kinds of fun information. The weight was about 500 grams, and monkeys will stop growing about 10 years old. These are what they call the snow monkeys. When it gets cooler, those monkeys are also in the onsen areas. But this monkey park was so fun. And I just loved the informational the informational points along the hike. When you're seeing an upper tooth, it's afraid. When you're not seeing an upper tooth, it's angry. So this is angry and this is afraid. And so I thought that was really good information to give us because we had no idea what to expect when we got to the top. And what we saw were all kinds of monkeys just horsing around with each other. And one of them did, Christian got a little too close. They just say, don't get close. They don't really, there was no barricade or anything. And Christian, of course, our son's 17, so he got a little too close. And let me tell you, that monkey told him to back off real quick. And they have children every year. And I don't remember the time, but this one was about 6 months old. The ramen is mind blowing. It really is off the charts ramen. This is just a little hole in the wall ramen place that we found. Another suggestion I have for everybody listening that wants to go to Japan is to not just use the American Yelp, because that's like you'll go to places that Americans go, but there's a Japanese Yelp, and if you want that information, just DM me, and then you can do the Google Translate, and then you get the more authentic places that the Japanese have rated. And the Japanese rate very, very, very firmly. Some place that we would say is 5 stars. For you guys, it would be like not, it would be like they'd give them 4, maybe 3.5. So this was an incredible find. And again, it was $11 for this whole bowl. I think I had 2 meals out of that. This is the lemon sucho. Oh, if you go to the 7-Eleven, grab this. Oh my gosh, so delicious. And their alcohol did not give me any headaches either. I just think everything is pure there. I wanted to say a little bit about the trains. If you are thinking of going by yourself, I would tell you that you should probably go with Roxy because there is no way I could have navigated all of the train situation without having Joel, who speaks Japanese as well as Spanish, and English is his first, I'm sorry, French is his first language, and of course he speaks English. But my husband is multilingual, and he happened to take a bunch of Japanese courses because he worked for a big Japanese company at one point, and I would not be able to have gotten us to the airport. You can do like the little trains like to Nara, but this type of thing is not as easy as it looks because you have to have a certain place to put your luggage if you're going back to the airport. So, as much as it is nice to get around, I would frankly say that if you want to go at all, going with a group, having a little bit of a touch point of a tour guide will be you will save so much time because this was time consuming even for him honestly to get the tickets. So just as a reminder, using a travel advisor is not just amazing to have a travel concierge of your own, but it does save you a lot of time. We spent a lot of time on that, but again, super comfy, and they think of everything. There's little footsteps that you put your feet on. It's just it's really Japanese do it right. I can't impress enough how they've just thought of everything. They have the repacking areas. I mean, they have scales. They just think of everything. Oh, this is when we got back to LAX. This is I don't know why I have that in there, but we went from Florida all the way to the other side, Japan, and that is a lot of miles. And through that, I used a new app for jet lag app that I can put in. I can DM you if you want to message me. I'll DM you this app. I don't make it, I'm not an affiliate or anything. I just recommend it to anyone that's doing a long haul flight. They had me taking melatonin at certain times, wearing the yellow glasses to trick my brain into thinking it was nighttime. They had me taking a lot of omega 3s, which I do anyway. But having it done at a timed area, as I've been getting older, it's been really a problem for me with jet lag. I highly, highly recommend it. So just try it out. It's a 30-day money back guarantee, and I would, if you want that information, just message me. This is Zip Air from Tokyo. I want to mention it to you. I know Roxy has a great offer for you, and you can get it in with a really, really inexpensive air as well. But you can also get your air separately if you wanted to. This was a lie down bed, and it was from Tokyo to LAX, and it was, I think I paid $1,200 for lie down that went all the way down. There's nothing else. It's called Zip Air. There's no extras. You have to buy everything extra, but I don't care. And I was able to sleep, and my back didn't hurt me, which is more important than in my neck. $1,200 straight from Tokyo to LAX, and I think that was like an 11-hour flight. And that was my little my little performance for getting Zip Air. This is an onsen. I would also mention if you would like to hit an onsen and have any questions about that, DM me. They are huge with their onsens. And that's it. That's all I got for you guys. So I'm going to turn it over to the wonderful Roxy, and she's going to show you what she's got upcoming in April, which is cherry blossom season. Cherry blossom season. Definitely not July and August.
Absolutely. Yes. It's definitely been a bucket list item for most people. Everybody wants to go to Japan to see the cherry blossoms. So I'm really excited to see it. And I specifically chose the exact date because every year they have when they're supposed to be flowering the blossoms. So it says that it's supposed to be around that, but it's never accurate. But they only last 5, 7 days when they're flowering, I guess. So I wanted to make sure I get them. And if not, then I get them blooming or something, whatever, something, something. Um, but anyways, wow, Shelby, that was amazing. All those places motivate me more to get there already. So I want to share my screen and go ahead and show the package and the offer that I'm currently promoting. So let me get that started. I'll share my screen. Okay, thumbs up if you can see my screen. It should say Japan.
Great job. I can see.
Okay. Okay,
So
full screen.
enter full screen mode. Go ahead and click enter full screen mode.
Okay, where's that?
I see it. Well, I see the audience window here. Just go ahead and maybe just click and see if it's gonna get out of the way. I see a window that says enter full screen mode. Drag
Okay.
it to your screen audience will be looking at.
Okay. Let me see.
And if anyone has any questions, just go ahead and unmute yourself and ask a question while she's getting this up because I'm happy to help. I'm just
Okay.
sharing this out.
Am I full screen now?
Uh,
Is it full screen?
I actually still see a pop-up. Do you guys all see that same pop-up that I'm
We
seeing?
still see, yeah, it says audience window. Maybe stop sharing and try sharing again.
Okay. Let me.
And then when you reshare, you might be able to choose the full screen.
I'm so glad we have IT on the line.
Mm.
Okay.
Oh,
What about
there we
now?
go.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, you got it, girl.
Okay.
Mhm.
Cool. All right. Sounds good. Sorry about that. Okay.
Thumbs up.
Okay. So as of now, the specific dates that we're going to do 9 full days in Japan. Remember, 2 days flying in and out. So the dates are April 3rd to the 11th of next year. We'll be flying in on the 3rd. We'll get there on the 4th. And then on the 11th, we leave on the 11th and arrive back to the States um, on the 12th. Or nope, on the 11th. And so it's an 8 night adventure, 9 days, as previously mentioned. The cities that we're going to be visiting is Tokyo, Kyoto, and Osaka, which were all the destinations that shall be lively presented. Super amazing. You do have the option to fly in before and after. You can choose to purchase the packages with the flights or without the flights. The motive of this package was to make it super customizable for everyone so that everyone can travel at their own pace, but still kind of join us as a group. It won't be a 24 guided group. It is mainly semi-guided, and we'll only really see each other during the transfers unless if we all agreed to kind of meet up. But other than that, it's fully customizable for the most part. So the first, of course, hosted by me. I'm so excited to travel to Japan. It's my first time visiting an Asian country. So this is super exciting. The package, what it includes, we have the round trip flights from US state, from any US airport. You can choose to not have your flights. You can choose to do the land only if you want to maybe go elsewhere while you're in Japan, fly in before, or maybe have one of those comfort seatings that Shelby had offered with Air Zoo, was it?
Zip,
Transportation, Zip Air,
definitely.
transportation. Yes, transportation is included, of course, as far as the bullet train tickets. And we'll all meet for those transfers and accommodations are included. There's 2 guided tours that are included also in the package. One will be in Tokyo, the other one will be in Kyoto. And of course, you have guides during these excursions. The first days, besides the one that we fly in, will arrive day one into Tokyo, which would be the 4th. We will go ahead and just settle in a group, depending how much we all get together at the end. We'll probably definitely get something to eat because we're going to probably be hungry after a long flight. And then from there, we'll have some free time to kind of settle in. If anyone wants to go out on their own and exploring, you kind of have half of the day to yourself. We should be arriving around 4 to 5 p.m. their time, of course, if you choose to do the flights that we're doing. The second day, we have a half day pretty much, and then a guided tour of the Shibu district, which is the busiest intersection in the world. That's included, and we'll have other people join us during this tour, and an expert guide will be with us. It should last more than an hour, but it's really good to kind of give us a good introduction of Tokyo and city highlights. Other than that, we have the rest of the evening, night to yourselves if you want to stick together, go have dinner somewhere else, do some shopping, whichever you'd like. On day 4 in Tokyo, it's a full free day. Here, you have the option to do many tours. There's Mount Fuji tours available leaving from Tokyo, which is Japan's highest peak. It is something definitely you need to visit while being in Japan. There's some Mario go-karting that's very viral. Again, all this is not included in the package, but can be added on. There's also foodie tours, if you want to do ramen tours, sake tours for the foodies, or you can do some own shopping. You can relax in your hotel if you want to do a spa day. Feel free to do whatever you'd like. These are all optional add-ons. After Tokyo, we'll be go ahead and depart from Tokyo to Kyoto. We'll spend another 3 days in Kyoto, and it'll have the same kind of itinerary as Tokyo. You'll have the first day all to yourself. We'll arrive there pretty much. We'll have the full day arriving there, depending on the bullet train arrival. The ride from Tokyo to Kyoto is about 2.5 hours, if I'm not mistaken, and we'll have the rest of the day pretty much to enjoy. The next day, we get a free morning. Pretty much, you have the entire day to yourself. Besides, in the afternoon, you'll have another guided walking tour in this city of the Gion, in the Gion district, which is where you'll see the traditional women, the geishas that Shelby was introducing. And same thing, we'll have an expert guide. We'll meet up with others, and we'll get another intro of Kyoto. This part of Japan is more of the traditional and culture. So, what I love so much about this package is it offers the city, so the modern of Japan, and then also the traditional cultural parts of Japan, which I think are important for any country you visit. The next day, the final day in Kyoto, will be another free day, which you'll choose to do anything you'd like. You can add on any excursions. You can go to Nara, for example, the deer park. You can do, there's tea ceremony traditions. If you're into that kimono for the woman, there's samurai experiences, many things that you can do in Kyoto, which I'm super excited. There's lots of tradition there too. And last but not least, we'll be spending one day in Osaka. We'll be staying the night here also. And this is the party city. So if you want to party at night, that's completely optional. You can. Here, no tours or excursions are included, but can be added if you choose to do anything extra. If you want to leave it for trying different foods or bar hopping, because I heard this is like a block city where you can go to different parties, karaoke's, as previously mentioned, whichever anyone would like. It's super flexible for all ages and all generations to join. Last but not least, that completes the trip. We would be flying back to the States or your home airport. Or if you'd like to extend your trip elsewhere, let's say you want to go to Europe, you want to go to another Asian country, you want to go to Tahiti, maybe, you can definitely extend your trip and we can go ahead and organize that for you if you'd like to do so. Or if you want to go back after Japan, you've had enough, we can do that also. The hotel accommodations, they're all included. We don't have the option to choose from them, but they will be chosen for us, and they're nothing but 4 stars and up. They're highly rated, and they are going to put us in very accommodating hotels. For our group, if you come with me, they'll put our groups together, most likely in the same hotel, depending how far out you book, and of course, due to availability and whatnot. If not, you'll be at a near airport or hotel, sorry, but we'll still be able to meet for any tours, excursions, or food. Highlights of Japan, of course. You definitely want to visit Tokyo. You want to visit Kyoto, which is everything that the tour offers. And of course, Osaka. Those are the main popular basic itinerary that most tourists and most first-time travelers do when they visit Japan. So I'm so excited that we're able to offer this package at a super steal price. Back to the personalization of the trip. All this, as here mentioned, are add-ons. You can add extra tours and extensions pre and post trip. You can add extra tours and excursions if you'd like. Any personal expenses, meals, drinks, gratuities, that sort of thing are included. But you don't really necessarily need to worry much about gratuities. I read something that it could be offensive to the locals.
Oh yeah,
Travel.
I'll mention that. That's a great point. So tipping is not expected there at all. It's not so much offensive as it's really like a non-starter. And it just shocks me. This is another thing you'll see. Everybody does their job so well. They know all the answers. You ask a question, they know several languages, they know the answers. And tipping is not an expected thing. You're going to get fantastic service without tipping, which I don't know how they figured all that out, but they did, and we could learn something.
Yeah, I've seen so many videos of this. The Japanese people, I guess they just enjoy really just doing their job and being very service. So tipping is not really
Not expected at all. It's not
expected.
they're not offended though. Like a tour guide would not be offended. But you don't need to at all.
Correct. And of course, travel insurance, no doubt would recommend it always for any international travel you do because it's an expense, this trip. It's an investment, and we just, God forbid something happens, we just don't want it to go to waste. Um, there's also cancellation coverage of the packages, which I can talk more about for those planning to book the packages. As far as pricing, this is the million dollar question. Everybody would love to know. So I can say since flights are included, if you choose to do the flight option, they do range because they fluctuate like gas prices every single day. As of today, I did check, and it starts around 2,399 with all the amazing amenities that we've mentioned and the flight. If you choose to do the land only, remember you have to book your own flights and take care of this. If you choose to do land only portion, that starts around 1,099 per person. It's still a super steal. You would just have to worry again about your personal expenses, any shopping, food, drinks you'd like to do. If you choose to add on any excursions that aren't already included, remember this includes two already included walking tours. So you don't necessarily need to purchase any other tours, but if you'd like to, we'll definitely recommend it, and we can definitely price you guys out for those who are interested adding anything else. And there's many flexible payment options available for this trip for any traveler. For those who maybe may not be able to pay up front, there is flexibility for you guys also, which we can talk more about. Just DM me after this, and I'll put my email and my contact information in the chat for those who are highly interested in joining us for Japan.
That's amazing. Thank you so much. So we'd love to answer any of your Japan questions. Do you guys have any? If you have any questions, just unmute yourself and take it away. Roxana, you did an amazing job, and I love your outfit. She's so festive. And I'll tell you, having someone on, like first of all, having a tour guide in general, just having a touch point, but not having so much structure. I love this option because for I think most of my friends and for me, I like to have a little bit of touch point where they're going to help me with the trains, like you said, or if I have a problem, I say, "Hey, Roxy, what's going on with this?" and she can figure it out. You have an actual friend on site. But I also don't like to be too confined into doing group things. And sometimes a lot of, especially when you go to Asia, because of the fact that it's so far, I found a lot of people do try to squeeze way too much in, and then they're just like on this treadmill of tours, and you stop being able to really be able to enjoy the authenticity of it. So I loved that option of kind of doing a little bit and then having a little bit of freedom too. Anybody have any questions at all? No, there's got to be someone with a question. We couldn't have done that well. No question. No, Inka, tell me how Romania was when you just went there. By the way, we haven't been there yet. Should we go next?
Yes, we need to
Yes,
plan that too next.
I haven't been there yet. I would
Yeah,
love to go to
that would be
Romania.
fun.
It's on the list.
How
Yeah,
nice.
I'm
I'm going actually next month. That's
so
interesting.
I was wondering if you're Romanian.
I am.
Yes, okay.
Yes.
Yeah, you guys have to
That's so
connect.
cool.
Erica
Yes,
will tell
yes.
you all the places to go because she's from there and
Oh, nice.
she's been my friend for a very long time. We were colleagues at one point a million years ago, and we hosted some singles on a cruise, and that was how I met Enka, and we became very close ever since. And that was
Awesome.
probably 10 or 15 years ago, right?
Oh,
Gosh.
wow.
Yes, like 15, 16 years ago, 15 maybe. Yeah,
Oh,
Hmm.
wow.
long time ago.
So I
But
have
listen, I loved your pictures. I loved your trip to Japan. It was amazing. It's been on my bucket list for quite some time now, and I'm ready to go. I wanted
Hmm.
to learn more about, this trip that Roxana put together, and I have other friends that are interested too. So I want to share this
Fun.
information with them as well.
fun.
Um, and I wanted to see, like, so the payment, is there a deadline for that? How does that work?
There's no deadline for
Mhm.
payment, of course, besides up until 30 days pre-trip, but it is recommended to book far in advance to get the best. So that's why I'm doing my best now, promoting it out there and everything, so that my group, I can ensure that we get nothing but the best hotels,
And the best prices because they
and,
go up.
and that
Hmm.
too, and the prices. And remember, cherry blossom is a highly busy season. The
Well, it's
months
the
of March and
busiest season.
April, the
It's
busiest.
yeah.
Right.
I mean,
So
that's when people want to go.
people like exactly people plan maybe 2 years in advance just to visit this because Japan is a hefty trip. It can be, So that's why when you come with us, it'll be super organized, so it's not so complex. So whenever there's no immediate rush, was what I've been telling everybody. But the earlier the better, just to secure your spot, your friend's spot, if anyone else joins. And also, like Shelby previously mentioned, next year they are planning on raising up the tourist taxes.
Yeah.
So that's why we are
I'm
stressing
sure they
for
will
everyone
not
to
do
join
it.
us.
They will not do it in April because it's like that's their heavy season. They're not going to do that. Another great question we got is, are there single rooms? And this company that we got the deal with has incredibly low single supplements. Usually, as you know, you have to do double, and not in this case. How much more was it, Roxy?
Yes, if you choose to go solo, it is about, I believe, $600 more from the price I quoted earlier. It was 2,399, so about maybe 600 solo.
That's
You do
not bad.
save going with someone, but it's still a super steal price for Japan.
It is a super steal price because
Okay.
in Japan they actually charged us for the third person. Like I'm surprised they were able to get that deal that they give you. Usually it's just double. Like with the hotel room, if it's $300 a night and there's one person, you still pay $300 a night. You know what I mean? But with us, when we had three people, it would make the per person rate go up 50%. So I'd pay like 150% of my hotel to have Chris in there. So, my son owes us big.
Yeah, we're
But
keeping
thank you.
tabs. We're keeping
We
tabs. Yeah.
are. Thank you, Sarah, for that question. That's a great question. We actually meant to mention that. Do you have any
Yeah.
other questions, Sarah? You're welcome to just pop in. None? Okay. Well, we don't want to keep you guys. So you have info at roxyglobaltravel.com, or you can text her.
Uh,
For me, if you have any
mhm.
questions, just get me on Facebook. Hey, Yarita, right?
Yes.
Yes. Hi. Come
Hi.
on and tell us.
Hi, guys.
Hey, how's it going?
Good,
Uh,
good.
so what was the thing that you used to help with jet lag
Oh yeah,
again?
yeah. So I put the fly kit in here. I put a little. I even had a coupon code for you guys. And look in the chat. I have the link, and
Hmm.
um,
It's a combination of things. So you've got the supplements and the app with the timer and the glasses. And then when you put your trip in, it tells you you should be resting now. Now you should wake up and take this little coffee espresso. Now 2 hours later, you should be going to sleep. So it kind of tracks as you're doing the trip so that when you get there, you're not jet lagged. And
yeah.
it's
And
just like, wow, it worked.
I
Like,
know they have a
that's
lot of
crazy.
apps these days, but and I was like, I don't know, I'm all into supplements and nutrition, like way into it. So I was like, I don't know if
Mhm.
this will work. But I was so desperate to try. I was like, 30-day money back guarantee, I'll give it a shot. And it was like every couple hours, and the app was phenomenal. It changed time zones as you went. You could go into either time zone. I'm not really huge on apps. Like they sometimes make things more complicated. It was fabulous. And so I don't know if the $20 gift code is still good because I gave it out. I had like four that I was allowed to give out. Just anybody, when you buy it, you'll have four to give out too, just for friends. So check it out. I don't know how many people have already taken that code, but I put it in there because I'm not following along. And I highly, highly recommend it. It got me on track and it worked. And the other thing is, don't drink when you're flying. And I know nobody wants to hear that, but honestly, if you're gonna be flying, like drinking is like the worst for jet lag. Like you got to kind of commit to staying off the booze, even though it sounds fun.
Well, when you're going that far on the other side of the planet and you've got such a small window, you don't want to start in hangover mode for the first 2 days, jet lagged, all messed up. Might as well save it for when you party one night and you're hungover and you're kind of like, all right, well, I deserved it because I stayed out late. But you don't want to mess up the first 2 or 3 days of your trip. So
Yeah,
that's why the jet lag app really worked because you got there and just hit the ground running, ready to go.
and we
Otherwise,
did.
you're
I was
otherwise you're a
shocked.
mess.
It,
But
it's been a real problem for me.
yeah, you kept up, honey. It was
I
good. Way to
did.
go.
I was like boom, 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 and it's been like
It's easy to be boom, boom, boom when someone else is carrying all your luggage. Anyway, keep going. Yeah.
the last 2 years, the jet lag has been affecting me so much so that I have to add extra days because I'm often hosting and in charge of groups, right? So I can't. I just can't not be on my game, and it's complicated. When you have a group, Roxy will make it look easy, but believe me, you're checking a lot of boxes off in the back of in the background, and you're making sure everything's working out, so you all think it's all smooth. But most of the time, it's kind of like a cobblestone road with heels on, so it's not easy. So anyway, highly recommend it. Definitely worked for me, and I hope it works for you. Any other questions, gang? No. Well, Roxy, you did an amazing job with that. I'm super excited. And Anka, I'll put you in touch with Roxy on Facebook because she's a go-to gal, and I know your friends are super fun and you would love her. And if that works out for you guys. And I know you don't want to put any high pressure, and you should never feel like there's any pressure, but just know that definitely rates go up if you don't put your deposit down, they fluctuate. So that's a real thing. So don't get mad at the agent. And then if you're gonna go, don't circumvent Roxy, because all of this that she does and what we're giving you, you're not paying more to go with an agent. You're actually gonna get a lot more value. And I think there's some misconception, because the suppliers pay us, so you pay the same, and the suppliers pay us, kind of like their marketing arm. And then you have an additional human to call, which is really much nicer than a robot. And cuter too. All right. I'm Shelby Burnett. You're fabulous. Go Japan. I'm excited for
Go
you guys.
Japan.
Bye bye for now.
Bye, guys.
Are you fun and ready for a dream vacation? Immerse yourself in the historic romance of Venice or capture the sun-soaked paradise of Santorini. TravelFun.Biz makes it all attainable for less than you'd expect. Our US-based trusted team of travel concierge are complimentary and take care of every detail. Work hard, play harder. Choose casual luxury. Choose TravelFun.Biz to book all of your travel. A family-owned and operated agency. Your fun is our biz. Text us for a quote on your dream vacation today.